Hi guys, let's roll. Well, you can tell it's going to be a serious video, guys. I've got my uniform on. I've even rolled my sleeves up. Yeah, so I mean business. Okay, as promised, this is part 2 of our series regards the Islamic torture of the grave. Not that much content in this one, to be honest, but I wanted you to see it because during the article, you perhaps might have an idea of what things were like in January 2008 when I wrote it. Okay? In the previous episode, I told you that I would show you an image of what that was taken of a guy who was supposed to have suffered the torture of the grave. Okay, yeah, and there is the image there that you can see. Yeah, I do ask you to go and watch that part 1 of this series. You need to understand what our enemies are thinking, guys. Anyhow, I'll read. Yesterday was a depressing day. Today is another depressing day. I visit all the usual news sources and find nothing but doom and gloom as our country slides closer and closer to either a police state or a civil war. Excuse me, kind of where we are now, isn't it, guys? I try to find cheer in the thought that the British public are at last beginning to wake up to the danger they are in and are voting in increasing numbers for the British National Party. And so I think about our BNP government would start to put things right. Interesting, guys, I just received a comment from a guy saying that if Labour gets in, it will be because of people like me. Well, let me tell you the truth. The reason this country is in a mess is because this country did not listen to people like Enoch Powell. They didn't listen to the National Front in the 70s. They did not listen to the BNP. This is why the country is in a mess. The British people didn't listen to the people who tried to warn them. Instead, they chose to believe what they read in the newspapers and turned against patriots who were simply trying to warn them about what was to come. And now, because your fathers did not listen to people like me when we were young, we are now where we are today. Anyhow, on with the article. I picture trains, boats and planes filled with illegal immigrants, foreign criminals and preachers of hatred, all heading back to their countries of origin. And I am cheered. But then I think, so what? There are now so many colonizers here now that are breeding like rabbits that those numbers would soon be made up by legal newborn invaders. Perhaps a law like the Chinese one of 1 child per family will be needed. Depressing. No brothers, sisters, aunts or uncles. Depressing. As you can see, I was pretty down when I wrote this article, guys. I can't tell you. So I have no stomach for writing or anything, or had no stomach for writing or anything, until I read this article here about there are plans for the turnips to be planted next to Christians in our graveyards. And in the article, there is this comment from the government in waiting, the Muslim Council of Britain. Muslims and Christians share many common beliefs regarding death and the afterlife, including the idea of judgment and accountability to God. As I write, well, I could not let that pass without a comment. The Christian religion and the cult of the dead paedophile have nothing in common when it comes to what is believed to happen after death. And here, I really urge you to go read this article that I posted a while ago on the torture of the grave and discover why so many Muslims prefer to blow themselves and others to bits rather than live a normal life. They are cowards, frightened of dying, and even encourage their family members to be suicide bombers to avoid what they think happens to them after death. For graphic images and proof to the torture of the grave, go here. I won't go there, guys, because I know that the link will crash. You may have noticed that in this article I refer to the Muslims as Muslims, and there's a very good reason for that. Originally, they were known as Mohammedans, followers of Mohammed. Then they became Muslims, but they had their feelings were hurt. They didn't like the word Muslims, and I'll tell you about that in another article. But this is why we have Muslims. I'll also tell you about their hygiene and how they carry out their ablutions, and what is permitted to be used as toilet paper and what is not. One thing they are not permitted to use, according to their books of reference, they mustn't use coal to wipe their behinds. Why anyone would want to wipe their behinds with coal, I have no idea. Anyhow, that was the article. Part 3 will be coming up tomorrow, and I will tell you why the families of turnips who wish to do Mission Impossible and self-destruct terminate themselves. You've been listening to Paul Morris on Voice of the British Resistance. And why did I waste my time putting a shirt and tie on? Be seeing you on the beach.